Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jish, and in this episode we're going to be tackling the wiring. So what feels like an actual age since making a video for this channel, I actually have been really busy. I've been working on things like this BSA right here. This is a BSA Bantam D3, 1957, basically coming for a full rebuild. Now unfortunately I've not had the time to film this because it really needed to be a quick turnaround. It is for a friend and I do not really offer this sort of service, but I wanted to take the chance to build something new. But if you do want to see more on this build, head over to my Instagram. I have been posting it in my stories. And yeah, just generally being really busy with film work for other clients. But enough of all that, we're here to look at the GS250 and the wiring and hopefully get it running. So there's some important things we've done to this bike since we saw in the last episode. We finally got those freshly rebuilt carbs put on. We also got the grips, levers and even the controls put on. We will be making some stickers for these because these are looking a bit worse for wear. And we've even managed to sort out the rear end with the indicators, tail lights, brake lights and all that sort of thing. They're already on the bike. Can you see them? These tiny little things are the Highsider Proton 2s. They are both indicators and tail lights combined. But don't let the size fool you, they are very bright and very visible. So now we've had a quick look around the bike, let's have a look at the wiring and get that put on the bike.
Before we carry on with the electrics, we need to fit the airbox back on, and to do this we need to remove the rear wheel.
So now we've got all those parts on, we can actually look at getting the main wiring harness. Anyway, we've got the airbox in, we've got the battery and we've got the panel in with all the starter solenoid, the reg rec and the CGI unit. That's all in place, nice and tidy, ready to be tucked away. It just all needs plumbing in again. Yeah, let's crack on. Right, so we've got the foundations down, we've got the wiring loom just placed on, just so I can map out where everything needs to go, where everything was and needs to be. Obviously we've got a lot of new parts on this bike, so I need to make sure that the corresponding wires are all in the right place. I've done a little bit of wiring work just to kind of like get the main terminals back in place because for some reason they went disappearing. And it's all starting to make a little bit more sense. Now we've got our trusty wiring diagram. We can actually see where everything's going. I've got the original gauges on for now, just so I can like work out which wires are which. Aside from that, we can actually start working on the headlight and the tail lights. Now, they're the most important thing for today. Once we've got those sorted, we can then move on to the rest, such as getting the bike running and starting.
While testing new components out, I like to use crocodile clips for quick and easy checks while working along the loom.
Right, so that is the tail lights and the brake lights sorted. Both switches working, light switch working, which is a really nice thing. The next thing we need to do is go on to the indicators. And with LED lights, you need a special LED relay to go along with them. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to get the indicator sorted and then we'll move on to the front of the bike.
So now everything's working as it should, it's time to get some connectors on and get the loom wrapped up.
Wiring to some people is just second nature. But to us mere mortals, yeah, definitely a learning curve. Okay, that's better. There we go, we're not worrying about messing with the plug now. And then when we put it into parking mode, just the parking light comes on. Nice. Ooh. I'm still currently waiting on a new lock and barrel because this one is just a bit ropey, but as you can see, you've got the wiring ready for when it comes. But yeah, let me show you what we've done. We've got the headlight working with a parking light. We've even got bar end lights on, and finally got the Highsider tail lights all wired in. These also double up as bar end indicators. As mentioned earlier, these are also indicators as well as brake and tail lights. They are so bright for the size. And for those who are wondering, they are also E-marked, so they are road legal. But yeah, the loom is basically all done, wrapped up nice and neat. We've got a few odd things like this, which is for the speedo, which we're waiting on. Wiring is one of those things where it's just a pain in the arse 9 times out of 10. Don't get me wrong, I don't really like doing it, but it's an important part of the build and I do want to get it right. There's a few things I want to change up eventually, just get some different plugs in to make it a bit more easy to take on and off things, but for now it's working really nicely and I'm quite happy with that. In the next video we're going to be looking at getting the engine started and working on the actual ignition system side of things. But what we've got done in this episode, it may seem real quick, but at the same time it's taken me a good few days to get to this point. But I want to say thank you to the guys at Highsider for sending me these lights out. They have just really made this bike really cool. And I just can't get over how small and bright these things are. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you drop a like down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Shout out to all my Patreons out there. Thank you for supporting. It really helps the channel grow.